Hello and welcome to the Entertainment Vortex. We were at Brennan Theaters today watching Only the Brave. Now, going into this movie, seeing the trailer, I knew it was going to be like a dramatic movie, that it was going to be all character-driven, all about the people involved, especially since it's based off a true story. I didn't know anything about the true story, and I'm not going to give anything away here, so don't worry. This is, of course, as always, spoiler-free. Going into it, I just had this gut feeling that it was going to be kind of a dramatic ride. Well, I will say, I was right. This is the kind of movie you bring tissues to. It is amazing. It is one of those movies.
I'm sorry to say I did not know about the story before this movie came out, but I gotta say, these men were... You have to be a very brave person to stand up against a wall of fire like that. This movie really displayed the bravery it takes to do just that. To save a town, to save historical places, to save people's lives. And that's what this movie conveys, is the bravery. So the title is appropriately called that. Miles Teller, who I'm used to seeing in comedic roles, it gives a really awesome performance. His character goes really in depth. Actors call it actor's goal when they play someone based on a real life character. It gives them something to work off of. And Miles Teller pulled it off brilliantly.
I will say that the acting is really, really impressive. Miles Teller, which I know primarily from comedy roles, fast-talking, sarcastic kind of guy, that's what I've always seen him in, is just on point in this movie. You feel his character change. You feel his character as he goes through the different phases of his character. You see it, you feel it, you believe it. Josh Brolin is always amazing, and he, of course, being the lead firefighter, as you see in the trailer, he just really nailed it. I believed him. I believed the aspects of his character they're trying to get across that really played to the story. I wanted to know more of this group of people, and that's the key. If you're going to have a movie where the whole point of it is to tell a story of a group of people and what they're trying to accomplish and what happens, etc. If I'm not interested in the way you're presenting these people or the way the actors are portraying these people, you're gonna lose me. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what the person was really like. They could be anything. You can take any personality in any event, and if an actor does it right, they can portray it in a way that's interesting. This group of people were fascinating. I can't go into too much details because I don't want to ruin any of the twists and turns in this movie, or I don't want to hint towards anything that might happen in the movie, but I will say that I believe this was a brotherhood. I believe this group of people in real life was tight. I believe they were a family, and they really got that across in the movie.
The visual effects for the fire sequences were totally perfect. I mean, the smoke looked real, the fire looked real, and, you know, you have something to compare it to. Watch the news footage of all these fires that are even happening right now in California. It looked like stock footage, but good stock footage, like as in the real thing. And nothing really looked fake in there. I was really impressed. So this isn't a visual effects heavy film, I would say, not to my knowledge anyway. And if it is effects heavy, they did an even better job than I thought. This deserves an Oscar nod for visual effects, if that. And for best sound. The sound of the fire coming, the wind blowing, it sounds horrifying, especially when it's coming right at you. When you see fires on the news, it doesn't look like it's moving very fast, but if you're on the ground in front of it, it moves faster than you think. And that's one of the trickiest things about a fire, is how fast it can really move, and this movie conveys that perfectly.
I will say the movie is a bit long. There was a point in the movie where I'm like, wow, they're really taking time to establish all these characters. But I do understand that it's important that you know these people, really know these people to understand the story and what it's trying to tell you. But they did take a long time to do it. The build-up, it's worth it. When you get to the end of the movie, it's worth the wait. It is interesting. It's fascinating. I didn't see it coming, and it hit me pretty hard.
I gotta say, this is one of the best fire disaster films since Backdraft, and I'm not saying that lightly because Backdraft was a masterpiece, but this brings it up to a whole new level. Gives you a whole new story with a whole new type of firefighting. Out in the wilderness, out in the country, out in Arizona is where this movie takes place. Most importantly, though, this is based on a true story of real-life firefighters fighting this battle blaze near Prescott, Arizona. This movie is not necessarily for the faint of heart. You're gonna cry in this movie. I'll admit, I teared up a little bit.
If you are at all interested in the trailer of this movie, in the story of these hotshot team, firefight team, I highly suggest watching this movie. Bring a box of tissues, steel yourself, and jump in. You will not regret it.
The movie is very emotionally moving. All the acting is great. The dialogue is great. The pacing is good. I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I would see it again. I love the movie. It was great. And for those of you who like films about real-life heroism, watch this movie. You won't be disappointed.
So I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. This movie was enjoyable, a story well told, everything that I believe they were trying to get across and everything I believe they were trying to accomplish, transferring this true story to screen, I think they accomplished. And I feel that it's a fitting movie to tell the story of these of these men. And I think that anybody that was a part of this story would be proud to have this telling their story. So I'm curious, with this being a movie about public servants, you know, firefighters, police officers, medical field, etc., what is your favorite movie about public servants? It could be an action movie, a drama, whatever you want it to be. I'm just curious to see which one do you feel is the most entertaining and really gets home the sacrifice that they give every day doing this job. Let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We do reviews every week. Coming up in the next week, we're going to be doing Funko Pop Collectors videos every week. And we have all kinds of stuff on the horizon. It's going to be some really exciting stuff. And of course, the Star Wars movie is coming, and you don't want to miss that. We have a Star Wars fan film that is going to be amazing. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our brother channel, the PC Gaming Vortex. That's where we do all of our gaming content, our video game content. And we're going to start dumping a lot of content on that channel and some pretty exciting stuff coming up on that one as well. And I hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. I'll see you there.